So you have bought your new TDAI 3400 amp and you want to set it up with your own speakers and subwoofers that are not from Lyngdorf. And of course this is possible, and we'll go through how this is done now. I'm in the web interface on the iPad here, where you do all your setup. So I go to Setup and Output Setup. Now, I have a setup here from our listening room, and we're going to use that. So I will change the main speakers here to Custom. This could be any speakers that you have. Down here you can see that line out / subspeakers is set to none. That's not going to work because we have subwoofers. And we have two in this case, I have decided. So I click on 2 custom subs. And we will use the analog output. You can also use the digital if you have digital inputs on your subs. But we'll use the analog in this example. Further down the screen here, you can set up main speakers. As we're going to be using subwoofers, we will have a crossover setting here. And the filter here is a high pass filter. This means that your main speakers will be connected here. Filter type, this is where you have to make your own decision. Usually the Butterworth second order works very well, but you can choose any other filter setting available here. Some people prefer the Linkwitz-Riley fourth order. It's mostly a question of taste and preferences. The crossover frequency will of course also depend on both your main speakers and the sub. 80 Hz will work for a lot of speakers and a lot of subwoofers, but you can place it higher or lower as you wish. I will keep it at 80 for this example. So, here you have the distance settings, where you can put in the distance to each of your main speakers. Probably your listening position is right between the speakers, but you can still put in distances here because the subwoofers may have another distance, and then the amp can compensate for the difference. The subwoofer output down here, of course you will also need the crossover setting here. And here you will need a low pass filter, and we keep the same characteristic as on the main speakers, so Butterworth second order, and also the same frequency. Output level control should be regulated, of course. Limiter you can leave on or off as to your liking, and here you put in the distance to each of the subs. And then you have a setting here that's called amplifier delay. Some subwoofers have built-in DSP to control the crossover filters, maybe limiters, maybe EQ, maybe even room compensation. We suggest that you keep all this off, but even if you do that, there will still be a processing delay in the amp. You have to get this value from the sub manufacturer, and it could be anything from a few milliseconds up to maybe 12 milliseconds. You put the value in here so you can ensure that the timing of the sound is perfect in the listening position. And once this is done, you're ready to listen, and you're ready to perform the room perfect calibration.